Hello guys, welcome to Refer UX. Myself Nimesh. This is a new series called Digital Forensic, and this is the first video where in this series we are trying to share with you some of the practical stuff in real world scenarios related to digital forensic area. Under that, this video is a guide for memory analysis using one of the famous tool called Volatility. Well, coming back to Volatility, it's an open source memory analysis tool, and also we can use for the especially for the malware analysis under memory analysis, which is written on Python. So if you have any doubt what is this memory analysis, for example, when we acquire a suspected machine, and there we can get the RAM data or memory dump of that machine, not the hard disk but the volatile memory, which is changing. So that memory dump can be analyzed using a Volatility tool. We are not making any memory dumps using Volatility, but we can use a tool like Lime for that. We'll cover that in future videos. But this in Volatility we can use that to analyze memory dumps we have. Fortunately, Volatility works in all the platforms including Windows, macOS and Linux. In our today's tutorial we will be focusing specifically on Linux environment, because Windows environment, memory files, it works pretty well. You can find plenty of examples in internet or YouTube regarding that. However, when it comes to Linux, the profiles, we are coming back to the topic called profiling a little later. For that purpose, the profile of Linux machines are not that much available in Volatility repository, as even though they have some predefined profiles, but sometimes, or rather most of the time, it doesn't work. So the best practice is we have to go with the manual mode, which we are describing today. So in summary, we should have a dump or a memory dump with us, which could with either .mem file or .vmem file. We can easily create a memory dump using using the tool called Lime, Linux memory extract tool. Then we can export that memory to Volatility in order to analyze the memory further. Then what's the issue come? The issue with the Linux distros is mainly, this is a sample. If you type the Volatility info, where I use the Kali environment there to give you a better understanding, because in Kali there's an inbuilt version of Volatility. There you can see that if you type this --info, there the profiles are displayed, which are already supported, already pre-installed. The profiles, if you have any doubt on profile, a profile is a combination of details regarding a particular architecture of a particular OS. For example, if you have a memory dump of a particular operating system, then in order to, especially it is in Linux environment, in order to analyze in better or rather properly, you require a template we are calling as a profile, which satisfy the requirement of the operating system which used to get the particular memory dump. In other words, if you have a Linux memory dump with us, let's say Ubuntu 16.04 LTS version, x86 or 32 bits, then in order to analyze that particular memory dump properly without any errors, then we require to have a profile which comprising the exact kernel version of that Ubuntu 16.04 LTS 32-bit machine, and that is not appeared in this screenshot, as you can see. So if you without knowing that, if you try to analyze Linux memory file using Volatility, there's a higher chance you will get a error message something like this, which saying that no suggestions, or I don't know, the failed address space. This is the one of the famous message. The reason behind that, when you analyze this, in this case, you can see I am analyzing Ubuntu snapshot.vm file, where it doesn't have any memory matching file. And if you go to Ubuntu, Volatility GitHub repository, you can find plenty of Linux distros, and under that Ubuntu, you can get the relevant profiles. Here I have downloaded Linux 1604, both 32 and 64-bit versions profiles, and I have loaded, and you can see under profiles now, you can see Linux distros are also listed, and then I again run the volatility, and after some time it gave me this error message saying that it has used this 1604 64-bit Linux distro, and now that is also file address space issue is there, because they cannot find a proper profile under that as well. So that is where we have the issue occurs, and today video tutorial, right, we are trying to address that question. And the solution we are proposing here, of course we have never done with you, and before analyzing that using volatility, we are going to create a profile using volatility which are matching with the operating system where the particular memory dump was extracted. That is a very simple scenario. So in summary, in today's lab, we are going to analyze a suspected machine's memory, virtual memory file, using volatility, and in order to do that, we are creating a relevant profile of that operating system where the particular memory was extracted. We are creating that profile out of that suspected machine. Then we are using volatility to analyze the memory file without any issue. So without further ado, let's begin. Okay, let's start. As you can see, I have already copied the vmem file of the suspected Ubuntu machine to the desktop, and now we are going to install volatility tool to analyze this memory file. And for information why we are going to do in this video is creating a profile which is matching exactly to this extracted vmem file, which is Ubuntu, in order to analyze using the volatility. Why is that? Because in volatility there are default set of operating system profiles added. We will look into that in a little shorter time. However, there's no specific Linux profiles available. Of course, if you go to GitHub volatility repository, you can see some Linux profiles, but not always they are matching with our own cases. So it is advisable to create a profile which is exactly matching the architecture of the machine where this particular memory file is being extracted. So that is how we are going to do this forensic analysis. And when we do that, that is the whole idea of doing this video. Otherwise, using volatility is really easy piece of cake, but having creating this profile is the problematic task for most of the students I have encountered, and rather most of the people actually. So let's start that task. First, I'll open the terminal, and then I'll change my mode to super user mode. Then what I'm going to do is I will install. First, I'll show you the kernel version of this particular Linux machine that I'm going to use. That is 4.4.0-31. This is the Linux kernel version where this particular memory file is belonged, because I opened the same the suspected machine in a different copy actually in order to create the profile, because that machine where this memory file is belonged. Then what I'm going to do is, in order to further proceed, I need a Git facility utility. So I'm going to is I'm going to install the Git, and I will -y. Why is that? Because it won't ask me. Oops, it should be my mistake. Apt-get install. Why is that? It says that right -y git. Oops, I'm sorry. I think it's -y install, which is git. Yes, correct. Here in Debian OSS, I mean the place where I put -y difference between I use in CentOS. Anyway, now it installs the Git utility, and the time depends on the internet connectivity or the speed of the internet line that you have in your place. So my one is a bit slow for the time being, but bear with that. Okay, once we install the Git, then immediately we can install the Volatility using GitHub. Meanwhile, let me get you to the GitHub repository until this is installing. I'll open my web browser and I'll go type git plus volatility, and you can see that you have a couple of links, and the first link here, in this case the one that we are going to use, and God, I have very slow internet speed for the time now. Okay, here you can get the code. Normally you will have the copy link, but unfortunately I don't have. I mean, there's some resolution issue with my I think browser. Okay, now this is done. For the time, let me check. Okay, I'm in here. I want to go to let me go to desktop, and now I'm there. Okay, cool. I'll clear my screen. Then what I'm going to do is git clone and this, and make sure to type git, and it is cloning git repository here. And why I type git, because if you copy from exactly from git, then you will have this git extension at the end of the URL, but unfortunately I just copied the web URL. There git is not available, so I type the git here. So not a big deal. Now it is been installing. Let's see whether it works in a proper manner. Oh God, my internet speed pretty slow, and it I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's around 25 to 30 MB file. I think roughly 26 or 7 something. We'll wait, we can't help. Okay, I think another 10 MB in megabytes. Okay, I think it's almost done here. Okay, it's almost done. It's 20 MB file and done. Then now what we're going to do is we can go inside this file. There you have a directory called tools. Let me navigate there and you can see there these are the profiles of matching to Windows, Linux or Mac OSs. Let's go to Linux and we have seen, you can see some sort of this sort of files, and let me give a command called make make the profile, and if you are lucky like this, if you are lucky like me, you'll probably get this error because this is due to the fact that the issue there will be an issue with the library file of this Doft, which is the Doft package is a debugging package in Linux systems, and there will be an issue sometimes with the library file set, so we need to install it from scratch now. So to do that, what I'm going to do is I need to download the Doft package from net. So to do that, let me go back to right, cool, I'm there, and there I'm going to download again. I'll go here, I'll type git plus its package is actually libtwrf, and you have this, and you have to go to the third link, the search watch, and then you can download the code. I think this is around 30 to 40 or something, I think around 50 MB file if I'm not mistaken, so it would take some time. Bear with me on that, so let me get that copy, then I'll give all these links in the description. So I'm going to type exactly the command I copied, and let this be run. Okay, even though there are objects of 19,000, but it around 30 to 40 MB file. So with this internet connection speed, we have to wait around 5 minutes. Let's see, hope for the best. let's see. It's okay. It seems that it is not that much big. It's around less than 20 MB, isn't it? Come on. Oh God, my internet speed is suck. Okay, another 34%. Yeah, patience. Okay, once we download it, I think it's a matter of small set of code, because once we download this lib.dots the library file, the rest of the things will be installing set of other tools which are required to compile this. Once we do it, we can immediately go for profile creations. But before that, let me show you something. That is, let me go to and volatility, and let me run the command python vol.py -- info, and there it runs the volatility framework. And don't worry about this hashing error, because some plugins need to be installed. I will install at the end. What the error it gives. Okay, before not error, actually these are the let me get this here and gives you more clarity here. You can see all the information available in the volatility. You can see here Windows based command and Mac based command and Linux based command, and these are the profiles available, and you can see none of the profile matching with Linux. That's a problem. That's why we are all Windows based profiles. That's why we are going to create our own profile there. That is the whole idea of this what do you call of this activity. And there, let me okay, it's 29 MB. I told you it's roughly 30 to 40. Yes, correct. Okay, now 82%, and of course you can meanwhile let me get you to GitHub volatility page and the repository, and there some sort of commands are there. It is also loading. Okay, only 10% remaining, and bear with me this low speed, but let me okay, it's loading. Great. And let me go there, and we can navigate to the let me check that as well. Okay, it's 90%. Let me close this for a while. Let the band let's enable entire bandwidth to this download process. Closing. 95, right, and 90. We have another less than 1,000 objects to be downloaded. Yes, great. Now it is 90. I think it was 96. I'm afraid whether it will go beyond 50 MB. Last time I did it is, I don't remember exactly what is the file size, but anyway, there are some heavy objects are there, I think. Great, 97. I think almost finished. 8. Okay, 99, almost done. Yay, come on. Yes, great. Wow, okay, we have that hectic task. Sorry about that, guys. We'll navigate to this folder, and we have these things, and what we're going to do is then we need a couple of other subtools to make this installation process a success. To do that, let me install here we install the lib tool in our lib tool here, lib tool bin, as well as automake, in order to make this configuration a success. Lib tool minus bin, and alright, and yes, I want to install it, and it is installing. And yes, then what I'm going to do is I will install another function in order to another utility, that is lib f1, to make this a success. I need that utility as well. Actually, it's a Debian package which is libelf1 to enable the ELF package to be read and write. To do that, what I will going to do is I will install apt install. I want to install delf one and a like delf develop. So it is installing, and it is also done. Then what we can do is we can run the auto configuration, auto conf install in a forceful manner, and it is done. Then what we can do is we can run the configuration file. Config. Okay, let's see whether it configures without any errors. It seems okay. Okay, if you get this thing, voila, you have successfully compiled, and you can run the make now, and you can see that you have this error. Why is that? Alright, you have this we have configure.cc ac. Yes, we have okay, I configure it, and let me check why it happened. Be careful. Oops. And okay, and oops, I made a mistake. It should be auto reconf. Okay, it should be auto reconf -f and -i. I'm sorry about that. It should be auto reconf -f and -i, and so because we are reconfiguring all the existing packages, and that's the issue for that, the error, I guess. Yes, done. Now if we type make, it should work. Yes, come on. Yes, it should be auto how stupid I am. It should be auto reconf. Oh, why should I give auto conf? It should not auto configuration, it's auto reconfiguration. Yes, I think if we have seen that it's nicely creating the DAW file. Now I think it should work properly. We should not have any errors. Yes, great. Now you have done properly. Voila. It's achieved. Okay, sorry about that. Alright, now we can go to volatility, and okay, before that you have to do something. You have to go to this lib file, and you have to copy some of the files. What are those files? Those files are, you have to copy the DOF dump into DOF dump into /user local and bin. is one thing. Second thing, the dump configuration file into local lib, right? So finally we have to create the libdof file, and libdof.ala to so local and lib. These are three things you need to do. And finally we are copying user local bin dof dump to module.dwarf and done, and module. This is you need to do. And once you do that, you can go there, you can go to Volatility tools and Linux and type and check with the you have to type make clean make clean and ls. You have see this clean version, clean, and unless you can see this just these files only. Then I will type make, and hopefully it should create it's created the proper header files with the which we can with the proper dof file is updated. Now let's create the what do you call our profile. Before that, let me show you whether it's in the relevant kernel file in the root location. Yes, it is there. This is system map file is there. 4.4.0 minus 31 generic is our kernel version. Now the command is this. I need to go to Volatility, that is 2 folders back. Then I need to type sudo, and normally profiles are in zip version. Zip, it is volatility plugins, overlays, and Linux, and the name I am giving here is Ubuntu. Okay, before running this, let me open another terminal and see the /home volatility, and let me type python vol.py --info. After a bunch of errors you will get these are not errors, actually these are some plugin missions. So let me update that later, but I want to show you that before running this command there's no any Linux related profile. Let me go up, up. Okay. Under profiles you can see that none of the Linux related profiles are there here. Now let me run this command. I'll name it Ubuntu 16.04 Ubuntu 16.04 underscore let's say just Ubuntu 16.04. This is x86 machine, x86, let me say x86 .zip. Alright, then it is tools, Linux, and module dof and boot system registering. So this is the command, and enter, and voila, if you get this information you have nicely done. Now let me run the same command again, that is plug python .py and -info. Then if you run this command, what you get is, and what you get here is actually if you get this 2 again, and this is the one I just run, and you can see that at the end now there's the Linux Ubuntu 16.04 x86. This is the one I just made, and it is there, right? This is the profile I made, and this is before that. You can see there's none of the profiles are there, and now on top of that we have one Linux profile, and you can see that so there's no profiles, but here we have one Linux profile. So that is the idea of creating a profile. Okay, now we are good to go. Now what we can do is we'll analyze our file, this Ubuntu snapshot file. So what we are going to do is Python, and you can see why I'm going to volatility folder. This is the location. This I'm in the volatility folder because I have this vol.py. This is the file that run the volatility program, minus vol.py, and the minus file name is slash home and desktop and Ubuntu. Okay, and the profile is the one I just created. Where is that profile? Oops. The profile is I can go there now. And volatility, so I can type Python vol.py, and if I type minus info, and if I search for Europe Linux, and you can get the Linux related Linux profile here. You can see the profile is here. I'll just copy that profile and I type here, and I just make a rename the profile is equal. This is a profile, and the command that I can use is again let me show you here. I again search through the commands are Linux underscore. If I type there, I can get the set of commands that I can use here, and all these commands are Linux commands that I can use for this particular image. And you can try all these things, but not all will work, because only 3 to 4 commands only will work, and that is the range of because not all the commands are working for all sort of operating systems. For expansion here, the processors we can find easily PS list and the PS scan, as well as the PSXV. All these things will work, and also netcat commands are also working here, network connections things. So what we can do is we can go there and we can okay, this one, okay, and minimize, and the command is not minus, let's say Linux underscore PS list, and after a bunch of this the missing plugins, our PS list command would nicely running, and this is how proof that your memory files now we can nicely analyze through the volatility. But let me tell you how we can omit these things. The one thing we have into crypto, another one is this ROM file. So let me quickly tell you how you can install those things in order to get rid of this error message, which is not good for the eye. For me, Python minus crypto again. Okay, Python distro, and it is installing, and we'll wait for a couple of headers. Yes, it's working. Waiting. Okay, it's working. Nice, great. Alright, it all work, and you can see that all adding. Now let me run the same command again. Now you can get the output without the set of errors. Yes, great. And likewise you can do many you can analyze, you can go through the here you can go there the volatility git and volatility. There you can get bunch of commands possible for the Linux and the other files, and you can see that we go wiki, and you can get for the commands are where are those commands? Volatility, commands. Yes, actually you can get this this particular link, the command reference. You can see that all the commands are listed here. You can for example, if you type just PS list is under processes, and you can see the PS list. Where is that? Okay, processes and the PS list is there, and you can see that you can go there and down, and you can read the necessary information there, and using that what you can do is you can analyze the given file. So in summary, I showed you how to create a profile to apply to volatility in order to analyze a given VM file, in this case Ubuntu file. So I hope this information is being useful for you guys, and if you have any questions, please do comment on the video so that I will try to address them as much as I can. So thank you for your time. In this video guide, I showed you how to address a very common issue when analyzing memory files related to Linux environment using volatility. There we had the issue was the relevant profile of the particular memory file is not available with volatility, so we used a manual method to create the most relevant profile for that memory file in order to analyze it, and there we encountered some issues, and then we sort out it, and I'm pretty sure you will also encounter this issue, and I hope you will also find this solution very handy. And if you have still any questions, please do comment under this video so that I'll try to support them, address them as much as I can to the best of my knowledge. And if you really feel this is informative, please give your likes and your shares, and to know about new videos related to this subject quickly, please do subscribe to our channel. Till we meet again, have a nice time. Thank you.